Well, if you're watching these videos in any type of order, last week I did a video on speed work, and in there I made the comment that most people actually don't want to be faster. I'll try and remember to put a link up here. If not, it's the week before I did this. But I'm here to tell you that most people don't actually want to be faster. Now, right now you're probably saying, Mark, you're an idiot. I want to be faster. I'm going to prove to you I want to be faster. Right now, my half marathon time is 2:08. That's a 9:46 pace. My goal time is to break to 1:59. That's a 9:05 pace. That's like 40 seconds per mile. I definitely need to be faster. I'm going to submit to you that that's not true. So if you can run a 2:08 marathon, I'm going to guess that you could run a mile in 8:15, probably even a little bit faster than that. So if I take 8:15 and I multiply that by 13.1, the distance of a half marathon, that's 1:48. So you're already plenty fast enough to run underneath 1:40 or 1:59. Of course, now you're going, Mark, you idiot. I could never run 8:15 for 13.1 miles. Okay, but you're already fast enough because 8:15 is fast enough. What you really want to be able to do is hold a faster pace for longer because you're already fast enough, but you want that 9:05 average. You've got to be able to hang out a long time. So let's talk about how do you do that? How do you hold a faster pace for longer? This is very simplistic. It's kind of the beginning because it's obviously there's more to it than this. But in general, you cannot outrun your aerobic base. In distance running, your aerobic base is typically going to be the limiting factor you have in being able to hold a faster pace for longer. So why is that? I'll use an example with, you have a stadium. Let's say you have a stadium, whether it's for sports, concerts, whatever. You own a stadium, and there's the parking lot, and there is one road going to that parking lot. But every time you have any type of event, the problem that you have is that traffic is backed up for miles. They can't get into the parking lot. In fact, in general, your event starts and people are still out on the street and they finally give up and just go home because the event has already started and they can't get there. But you like to make a lot of money. So you say, well, you know what? I'm going to offer a discount on tickets. I'm going to cut the price of my tickets in half. You know what? Not going to do you a bloody bit of good because they still can't get into the parking lot because you still only have the one road. So you can offer all the discounts you want. Your problem is you got to get people into the parking lot and then they got to be able to get into the stadium. So one day you bring on a partner and your partner says, hey, I got an idea. Let's add another road. And all of a sudden you're getting more people to the stadium because you've doubled your roads in this particular circumstance. But still, there are people that can't get there in time. And you say, well, now is the time to offer discounts or offer promotions or get more people in. But your partner says, no, because we can't get them in the parking lot. So you start building more roads, more roads, more roads. You have all these roads, and pretty soon what's happening is everybody is at their seat before the event even starts because you have now improved your aerobic base. You now have the ability to get all those cars there. And that's kind of what's happening when you're running, is that you're trying to throw more oxygen at it or throw more of this at it. But the problem is it's got no place in your body to go. Your body is building roads, is really what's happening to try and improve that aerobic base. So that's the really big thing. So how do you do that? How do you get more roads in your body so that you can get everybody to your concert in plenty of time so that you can then offer promotions, which is going to be some faster work that's going to allow you to run faster for longer? Well, the aerobic base comes from time and effort. So your body is going to adapt to how much of that you're doing, the time you're doing it, and the effort at which you're doing it. So let's talk about time first. So there's two parts of that. One is duration, and the other is, I'm just going to call it weeks. And what I mean by that is that your body adapts. The longer you can do that in a given session, the better. So length matters. That's one reason we do long runs, because long, easy running is really good for building that base. Going out and running 10 minutes at a time does very little for you, although something. It's having some time in there. And the reason I say weeks is that your aerobic system is the slowest system to develop. It takes a long time to really maximize that. The good news is if for some reason you can't run, it also goes away very slowly. Your other systems you can usually improve more quickly. They also degrade more quickly. But the aerobic, it just takes a long time. So time is very important, both in the duration of your runs and just for how long you want to be doing that for. So from a duration standpoint, you generally don't get much benefit under 30 minutes. Sure, you get some, but usually you want an easy run to be at least 30 minutes. And right around 2 hours and 30 minutes, the benefits start to really trail off. Now, certainly there's times you're going to run over 2 hours and 30 minutes, especially if you might be a 5-hour marathoner. But from a physiological standpoint, the bang for your buck comes between that 30 minutes and 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's why you see the elite runners running so many miles and why you see them doing so many 20 or 22 milers, because they're doing that in under 2.5 hours. They're in that sweet spot a lot. It takes a long time. I would recommend that ideally you have about 8 to 12 weeks in the year that you dedicate towards just base building, which means you're going to spend 8 to 12 weeks just doing almost exclusively easy running, rebuilding that base, because every time you want to try and improve your performance, you're going to have a bigger base. You have to add more roads to your parking lot, and there's more to it than that. If you are in high school or college, for example, a lot of those coaches will ask their kids to do all their base training over the summer. It's not unusual for them to ask them to do 80, 100, 120 miles a week of just all easy running. Then they start getting ready for training. That's when they start adding all the other stuff in for that base. A lot of us have a hard time doing that because we are either jumping from race to race to race, so there's never time to put that in, or you get to that downtime and rather than running a lot of miles, you want to take it easy. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm telling you, ideally, you would take a chunk of time like that and really dedicate it towards building that base, because it's a key element of being faster for longer, because you will never ever outrun your aerobic base.